All right, guys, I got some breaking news stories to break down with y'all, and we got to talk about Dan Bongino. Dan Bongino, very passionate message toward Donald J. Trump, basically mirroring what all of us have been feeling about Pete Hegseth, about Kash Patel, about Tulsi Gabbard, and about Trump's picks. So we got big news here to talk about. Make sure to smash the like button. And things got heated at the Capitol as well with the final congressional hearing on Trump's assassination attempt. That got crazy. We got to talk about that as well. And yeah, make sure to smash the like button. Let me know where you guys are watching from real quick as the people come in. Let's just get some people on board here to see where they're watching from. We got good afternoon from Washington State. Washington State in the building. Let's see who else is in the building. What's up, Lou? What's going on? Never back down. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get some more people in here. We're about to get the show started. Once again, like I said, smash the like button. All right. I got a message here from Dan Bongino, a very important one. Take a listen.
As he vows to never back down. Pete's not backing down. Pete, do not back down under any circumstances. And Mr. President, please do not let Pete Hegseth's nomination fall. If he does, forget it. It's over. Tulsi's next and RFK's right after that.
Dan Bongino, very urgent. A lot of people want Dan Bongino to be the director of course, Trump's Secret Service, the director of Secret Service. That's something that can maybe happen in the future. But here he's speaking directly to Donald J. Trump and saying, please, Trump, do not give up on the Pete Hegseth situation. This is what the media is trying to do. They're trying to drive out Pete. But once again, I'll play it again. It's a very he's giving that warning, because once Pete falls, then they're gonna go after RFK Jr. They're gonna go after Kash Patel. They're gonna go after. And I got some big news about Kash Patel as well.
As he vows to never back down. Pete's not backing down. Pete, do not back down under any circumstances. And Mr. President, please do not let Pete Hegseth's nomination fall. If he does, forget it. It's over. Tulsi's next and RFK's right after that.
So he's basically warning of a domino effect. But here is another video, another bombshell video from Dan Bongino. Take a listen.
I'm no isolationist, but I certainly ain't an interventionist either. And Pete Hegseth's one of those guys who's going to look and go, is this really America first or is this America last, us being over there? And there's a war machine worth trillions of dollars. It doesn't like that. They're trying to sabotage Pete because there are people in the United States Senate on the Democrat and Republican side who have had arms industry, weapons industry lobbyists up their ass for 20 years. And they're telling him this is our hill to die on. Well, fuck, this is our hill to die on too. Because you know who's going to die? Your kids and your kids after that in a number of bullshit foreign enterprises where we have zero interest whatsoever because castrated fucking eunuchs who have no balls to do it themselves, don't have a fucking shred of integrity.
So Dan Bongino is going off there, right? And there's more to play on this video. But I just want to say, wow. There's a reason why Trump picked Pete Hegseth. There's a reason why. Because he's a combat veteran. He's somebody that has been in tours. He's somebody that has fought physically. And there's some people in here, you know what I'm saying? There's some people in here that have fought in these types of wars. And maybe some of you guys fought at the same time as Pete, but man, Dan Bongino is vouching for him, saying, please, Trump, don't let this get out of hand, because once again, it's going to be domino effect after domino effect. We already spoke about the Nancy Pelosi rule, right? The Kavanaugh, giving you the Kavanaugh treatment, right? Where you just make up every story, anonymous sources, all these different things. And then boom, next thing you know, they're gone. Just the media is just not going to be that loud, even when people are proven innocent. Let's keep listening.
Or anything else, want your kids to go over and fight some war somewhere. They don't have a shred of balls to fight themselves. And they are afraid that Pete Hegseth is going to ask one simple question. Why? There's money to be made in your kids' blood. Folks, we have a military for a reason. We're not here to duck every fight. There are fights we have to fight. You hit us, you knock down our buildings, then we are going to fuck you up. But man, we don't need U.S. boots in every single country on earth for kids dying and blood on foreign soil because some lobbyist has a freaking pipeline somewhere they need protected. That's bullshit. And that's exactly what's happening right now to Pete Hegseth.
Yeah, so I'm not sure whether you guys agree with Dan Bongino on that or not, but man, I got to say I strongly, and I mean strongly agree on why we should have somebody like Pete Hegseth. Now it's all making sense to me. Take a listen to this. This was earlier today. Pete vowing he won't back down. Take a listen.
You fight, you go do tough things in tough places on behalf of your country. And sometimes that changes you a little bit. And by the grace of God and my Lord and Savior, I had an opportunity to come on up out of it and do great things with great veterans organizations that fought for vets, that fought for reform at the VA and for war fighters. And at the Fox News channel, to advocate for those very same causes. And I'm proud of what I fought for. I'm not going to back down from them one bit. I will answer all of these senators' questions, but this will not be a process tried in media. You fight, you go.
A process tried in media. Man, does that make so much sense as to what they're trying to do to Pete. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, I got big news, though, about Kash Patel. Anybody excited for Kash Patel? Now, we know what the media is trying to do to Pete. I'm pretty sure that if Pete ends up dropping out, what are they going to do? If Pete drops out, what are they going to do? It's so simple. They're going to go after Kash now. And if Kash Patel drops out, what are they going to do? They're going to go after Tulsi. And if Tulsi drops out, they're going to go after RFK Jr. We already know the domino effect of the media. They already did it to one. Even though I think that, when we talk about Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz, I think that there was a deeper plan there from the beginning, but once again, they did it to him. Smear campaign after smear campaign. But I do have big news here from John Cornyn, Texas Senator John Cornyn dropping a bomb about Kash Patel's process. Take a listen.
First of all, will Kash Patel be confirmed, as I expect he will be, but you're the guy who knows. What do you think?
Yes, he will be. People I have great respect for, people like Trey Gowdy, have recommended him highly. I'm still looking to schedule a meeting with Kash, but I think, certainly has vast experience, including working on the House Intelligence Committee on the Russiagate scam and the Steele dossier scandal. So look forward to meeting with him. I met with Pam Bondi the next.
First of all.
So look, we're getting some big news here from Senator John Cornyn. Looks like we're going to have Kash Patel get through. They're not hearing anything bad about him. So that's a very, very, very good sign there. And I'm hoping that that's the case. I'm hoping that that's what we get. All right, real quick. Big stuff happened earlier. I got to go on to this because we got to talk about what happened at the Capitol. I don't think many people are talking about this. And please, let's talk about it.
Okay, getting pretty hot at this hearing, which is going on. This is the final hearing on the assassination attempts against President-elect Trump. Acting Secret Service Director Ronald Rowe is testifying about those two instances, but it got very heated with Republican Congressman Pat Fallon from Texas when they got into the issue of intelligence, Secret Service, and September 11th. But watch this.
So actually, Congressman, what you're not seeing is the sack of the detail out of the picture's view. And that is the day where we remember the more than 3,000 people that have died on 9/11. I actually responded to Ground Zero. I was there going through the ashes of the World Trade Center. Mm-hmm. I was there at Fresh Kills.
I'm not asking you that. I'm asking you, Congressman, were you the special agent in charge?
To show respect.
Oh my God.
Not.
For a Secret Service member that died on 9/11.
Oh, that you're trying to be.
Do not invoke 9/11 for political purposes.
Oh, that not. I'm invoking this.
You are, sir.
Gentlemen,
and you are out of line.
I would like to ask him a question, please.
You are
Order.
out of line, Congressman.
Don't try to bully me. I am an elected member of Congress, and I'm asking you a serious question, and you are playing politics.
I am a public servant who has served this nation, and
you won't answer the question.
On our day, on our country's darkest day.
Mr. Chairman,
committee will come to order. Committee will come to order.
I'm asking you serious questions for the American people, and they're very simple. They're not trick questions. Were you the special agent in charge that
No,
day?
I wasn't. I was there representing the United States.
Boy, oh boy, it got crazy.
I'm serious.
Can anybody hear me? Why did Siri keeps coming on my laptop for some reason? I don't know what that's about. Every time I'm listening to something and I'm doing something, Siri just so happens to be listening to my conversation, and and look, it's happening again right here. Look, maybe because I said Siri, but it's just like Siri constantly keeps coming on for some reason. I don't know what that's about. So you guys can hear me. Cool. Let's keep listening to this. Let's go back.
I'm an elected member of Congress, and I'm asking you a serious question, and you are
I
playing
am a public
politics.
servant who has served this nation and
You
spent
won't answer
time
the question.
on our country's darkest
Mr.
day.
Chairman,
Committee
you
will come
Do
to
not
order.
politicize it.
Committee will come to order.
I'm asking you serious questions for the American people, and they're very simple. They're not trick questions. Were you the special agent in charge that
No, I
day?
wasn't. I was there
No,
representing
Mr.
the
Chairman,
United
I'm
States
just
Secret
asking you yes or
Service,
no.
sir.
Mr. Fallon, your
And
time's
did not
expired.
affect protective
Fallon,
You know
operations.
why you were
time's
there?
expired.
Because you wanted to be visible, because you are auditioning for this
I was
job.
there to
that
pay
you're not gonna
respect for a
get
fallen
till
member of
January
this
20th.
agency.
You endangered
You are
President
out of line,
Biden's life,
Congressman.
Vice President
You are out of
Harris's
line.
life, because you put those agents out of position.
Mr.
Did you have a
Chairman.
radio with
Mr.
you?
Fallon,
Did you
your
wear
time
a
has
vest? Did you have a
expired.
weapon?
Mr.
No.
I did, sir, and you are out of line.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
please.
All right. And we are back
You're
in
a
order
bully.
now. We are back in order now.
Thank you.
Well, sometimes things get a little heated in these congressional testimonies, and obviously this is a topic that is enormously sensitive. I mean, imagine what this country would be like right now if things had gone differently, if that assassination attempt had been successful in Butler.
Yeah, this was crazy to watch. Very chaotic shouting match. Look, who should be Trump's director for Secret Service? I think we all know the answer. The guy who was speaking at the beginning. But somebody's trying to save their butt here. And that was a little overheated. That was way overheated. That was insane to watch. And I think a lot of us kind of like, once again, the news cycle just keeps on moving. It keeps on moving and moving and moving. That a lot of us have forgotten that, man, these people got to be held. They're in Congress. They're in the Congress. They're under oath right now, answering questions from congressmen and women about this day, about the handlement. It's still one of those things that I've never forgotten about. I never have forgotten about any of this because I was streaming that day, and I still want answers to this. I still want answers to how in the world we were that close to losing a former president running for president that is now the president-elect. These are things that I swear I think about all the time. I don't know if you guys do, but I know I do. And I don't want to hear the United States Secret Service director having an attitude and blowing up. I'm good, man. This was one of the most failed things ever. We could have lost Trump. What would the world be like today if that would have happened? Man. Anyways.
July 13th. So emotions are running high. I believe the question was around his presence, Ronald Rowe, the acting director of Secret Service, because remember, the director stepped down after Butler, Kim Cheadle. But he's asking about his presence at that 9/11 ceremony and what the purpose of his positioning on that day was. And you can see it got extraordinarily emotional in there. So we're going to continue to keep a close eye on what's going on as they try to figure out the future of the Secret Service and who should be held accountable.
Who should be held accountable? Who should be held accountable is a good question. But this is pretty much what it was about. Here's a better angle of the pissing match. Rowe tried using devastation of 9/11 to change the argument and take focus away from him and his missteps. I guess since Kimberly Cheadle resigned, he feels like he is cleared of all wrongdoing, which we know that's not the issue. That's not the case.
Congressman, what you're not seeing is the sack of the detail out of the picture's view. And that is the day where we remember the more than 3,000 people that have died on 9/11. I actually responded to Ground Zero. I was there going through the ashes of the World Trade Center. I was there at Fresh Kills.
I'm not asking you that. I'm asking you,
Congressman.
So that's the beginning of what happened and why this got out of line. He basically spun the question that was asked before to talk about what he was doing there that day and what he did on 9/11. And that's why it got out of hand. But as you can hear, the congressman, he just basically starts yelling. That's not what I'm asking you at all.
World Trade Center. I was there at Fresh Kills.
I'm not asking you that.
I was
I'm asking
there,
you if you were
Congressman.
were you the special
there
agent in charge?
to show respect
You were not.
for a Secret
Oh, that's
Service
a bunch of
member
horse hockey.
that died on 9/11.
Oh, that you were trying to be.
Do not invoke 9/11 for political purposes.
Isn't that what he's doing though? I don't know, man. Somebody said who's running this country. That's a very, very good question as to who's running this country. At this point, we don't even know, because last time we saw our president right now is legitimately, he was falling asleep, during, oh my God, that's crazy. I'm literally scrolling through X, and one of the first video that pops up is this. This is who is in charge of the United States of America.
In closing, allow me to reiterate Tanzania's commitment to regional integration and shared prosperity. We note the progress made on the development of the Lobito Corridor and commend the visionary leadership that has brought this initiative to life.
You know what's even more scary about this? What's more scary about this is the fact that Democrats threw him up there. Remember how they threw him up there to run for president? People for I know Kamala ended up running, but this guy was running for president, and many Democrats, leftists, even some progressives, literally came out and kept telling us that he is okay, that he's doing just fine, that he is worth the job, and we're going to be behind him. And that if you show a video like this is called a cheap fake. This is a cheap fake video. Remember, they're like, oh, you guys are using deep fake videos. This is not true. Joe Biden is doing just fine. Remember those days? Those days were really not too long ago. We're talking about July. We're talking about May, June, before he dropped out of the race after the first and the only debate that him and Donald Trump had. But what's so scary about this is that people legitimately, if they didn't force him to drop out, he would have still been running, and we would have still been experiencing this. And he could have won. I don't think he would have won, but we know now that he definitely wouldn't have run. A lot of people say he would have won. But it's just so crazy because I don't forget these things they're literally not that long ago. They were really not that long ago that Democrats were throwing him up and calling us crazy for seeing things like this. And I just think it's wild. I think a lot of people want to know why Democrats are probably going to have a hard time winning elections coming up. It's going to be tough for Democrats to win because we're just never going to forget the way they tried to lie. The way they tried to lie and the way they tried to get us to believe that this guy was the best. He was the best. He was in the greatest shape ever. He's doing so good. I would never forget that. And I would never forget what happened, with Trump's assassination attempt, the way they reacted to that. I just would never forget anything. I just won't. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to smash the like button. Let me know how you guys feel about all of this. Pete Hegseth, Kash Patel. Well, we got good news about Kash Patel, so that's good. John Cornyn basically confirming he's going to get through no problem. The only problem right now is somebody like, of course, Pete Hegseth. I do have another video. I'm probably going to show this later, but I got to show it now. This is why Democrats probably won't win again. Take a listen.
The presidential pardon was originally meant to grant the president the power to temper justice with mercy. It was not enshrined in our Constitution so that a dishonorable man could reward his criminal allies, friends, and family for their corrupt practices. I don't have a problem with Biden pardoning his son. He should have pardoned him. The crazies are coming, right? But to me, it's like pardon more. The presidential
Yeah, that's not good. It's not a good look for you, Joy Reid. Not a good look at all. Actually, this might be the worst look for you. Man, isn't it so crazy how things just pop up again? like compilations of how you felt before and then now versus now. That's insane. Like we're just watching people switch up and like flip-flop like no tomorrow on stances that they were very harsh on. And now we just like have all the footage. Like there's no coming back from this. I would say MSNBC, you just got to replace a whole bunch of people because they've lost you guys so much credibility. I think this is why people really don't watch the news already. They don't even watch the news. But, you know, that's bad. That's so bad. Yeah, we have the receipts. I mean, the receipts are just so big, though. Like, they're so crazy, like, of how on board and how big it was of an issue that they used to make that Trump pardoned a few people, specifically after they were, you know, on the Russia hoax. When the proof came out that they were innocent, Trump then did what he did. Pardoned them. All right. I did see this. Let me play this real quick.
Number one. Okay, I'm sick and tired of the Democrats complaining. They're complicit in this whole thing. They're the ones who cheered him on when he reannounced in 2023. They're the ones who said he had more energy than the rest of us. We can't keep up with him. They're the ones who said he was the best president who should be on Mount Rushmore. And now that they lost, they want to blame him. Well, when you get fleas when you lie with dogs. They are the same ones who tried to sell us what they're accusing Biden of right now. But here's the thing. They had a terrible candidate. She had 4 years to figure out how to be a president. She was too incompetent, inarticulate to do that. So they lost because of that. Now, in the end, I don't want to hear about the Dems blaming Joe Biden. They can blame themselves. And revenge tour? Are you kidding me? The Department of Justice has never been weaponized the way it has. You take a presidential candidate, a former president, and indict him and make like you have no idea what your Department of Justice is doing. When you allow your Department of Justice to overlook the highest earning years of your son Hunter because you were involved with the corruption with him where he grabbed garbage bags of money from around the world. I'm sick of the Democrats. They haven't learned anything from this election. What they've got to learn is that there are consequences, that Americans want law and order, and that in the end, they got to stop with this progressive, leftist, un-American nonsense.
Damn. Okay, Judge. Fox News is killing everybody else. How they are. Everybody has been fleeing MSNBC and they're just going over to Fox. I don't even watch Fox, but I'll tell you what, I watched the highlights of it. And the madness continues from the left. It just does. It really just does. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I will be back in a bit with bigger and better news. Of course, as always, I appreciate everybody coming through, showing love, smashing the like button. I hope you guys did. And I will see you guys on the next one.